What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Mark here with Vette on Vets. So, kind of another unconventional video I'm doing today. Kind of a money-saving thing. I don't need to, but I'm doing it. I weighed the pros and cons, and that's what I'm going to do. It's something controversial, if you will. So, long story short, I'm going to be sound insulating or sound dampening the Z06. As you know, it's pretty much a race car, and there's no insulation. You have a piece of carpet, and that's about it. Fiberglass composite road. I will be using peel and seal flashing for homes. Now, I know what you're all thinking, like, what a freaking idiot. Years ago, probably about 8 years ago, a buddy of mine had a Civic Si. He decided to sound dampen his car. I went over to his place and I was like, hey, what are you doing, man? He's like, I'm sound dampening my car. I was like, cool, we got some Dynamat. He's like, no, I found this stuff at the hardware store. I'm using this. I was like, well, you're an idiot. Are you gonna get a mop and some tar when you're done and do the roof? Nonetheless, he went forward with it against my opinion. And I told him it's gonna fall off in the heat, it's gonna smell like tar, etc., etc. Long story short, years later, or even after the fact, you didn't smell anything. And he ended up selling the car 3 or 4 years later. It was still intact. It worked quite well. The sound dampening properties were pretty damn good. I was still concerned because it uses some sort of asphalt tar type material that it's probably not the best idea. Upon further research, I found that Dynamat, at least the first generation, was almost identical to the same ingredients as this aluminum flashing. So then I thought, why the hell are people paying 5 times as much for Dynamat? You're paying for a name pretty much. Now, there are a second and third gen Dynamat, a little different, but the principle's still the same. So I said, hey, what the hell, I'm gonna give it a try. You know, it's a 20-year-old car. I love the car, but I don't see any ill side effects of doing this. And you can do this entire project for about $60. About a weekend of your time. Now, once I get the entire inside totally covered in this flashing, I'm going to go ahead and in all the surface areas, the larger surface areas, put a rubber foam mat on top of that for just an extra layer of sound deadening. And I'll be applying this with some Loctite, and I'll take you through each step. I'm not going to film me actually doing it because it's kind of boring and monotonous, but I'll show you what you start with in the car. Each layer, I'll show you how it goes, and then I'll take you guys for a ride at the end. And it should be interesting. I'm actually excited to see how this works out too. Hopefully it works out good, and it's gonna help someone else out there trying to do this on a budget, you know what I mean? So the car is already in a million pieces. I've taken this car apart so many damn times, I can almost do it with my eyes closed. I took everything out, including carpet and trim, I'm gonna be doing in about an hour and 10 minutes. My garage is full of parts. So let's go out there and show you what you're gonna be working with. Alright, so here we are out in the garage. It's a freaking mess. A mountain of Corvette stuff, parts, carpet, dash panels, more carpet. Alright, here's what we're working with. Car is completely gutted, as you can see. I'm going to do everything you see here exposed, up to the speakers, all the way down to the floorboards and up into the dash as best I can. This side's kind of hard because it's a fuse box, but the other side I will be doing up into under the dash as far as I can. If you weren't aware, the floorboards in this car is actually a piece of aluminum, balsa wood, and then some sort of plastic composite underneath that. It's like a sandwich of balsa wood, plastic, and metal, about 1 inch thick. Pretty interesting. Also, I love the way they put all the panels together. It almost looks like a weld. It's not, it's just some sort of adhesive. But the way it goes on, it looks really cool, like a stack of coins you'd see on a good weld. Also, someone was curious about how my speakers look. The Kenwood's done. I put a little piece of foam behind the screws just to ensure there's no kind of vibration or anything weird going on. Oh, also, the trunk does have a trunk release. That little cable right there, I don't know if you can see it, hanging down. So if you're ever kidnapped in the back of an FRC C5 Corvette, just dig under the carpet, find that, and you can jump out. So what's going to happen first is I'm going to do all the exposed area with that flashing, and then all the large areas with the foam. Just for comparison, this is how it sounds completely bare. Very hollow, sounds like a drum, and it lets noise and vibration through very, very easily. So I'll be back in a couple hours, and hopefully most of this will be filled with flashing. All right, so here we are about an hour and a half in. This is approximately 1.5 rolls. So doing the math, probably gonna need about 3, maybe 4 more rolls to finish everything. It goes on incredibly easy. It's about 45-50 degrees in my garage and it's sticking just fine. There is zero smell to this that I can sense. I've tried to smell it. Don't smell a damn thing. Just for sound deadening properties, I'll go ahead and give you an example of this side. And I'll go to the other side and I'll show you the difference. All right, here we go on the driver's side. A lot more tinny. So definitely a noticeable difference so far. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the entire car in the flashing, and then I'm going to all the large surface areas, backside here, on the floor, a couple spots in the tunnel, on top of the tunnel maybe, all the large surfaces in the back. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that foam mat and then start putting everything back together. But I'll show you the foam mat once I get that sorted out as well. Alright guys, quick update. So I got the entire car covered interior wise, every square inch of the flashing. This job is not hard. Total pain in the ass. It's going to kill your back and your knees, but not hard by any means. I got the front covered in foam as well. The tunnel area on both sides, I got 2 layers of flashing on that. Let's come around the back here. As you can see, every square inch is covered. Total pain in the ass because all the weird little grooves in the fiberglass back here, very, very annoying to work with. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and all the flat areas, actually I'm going to do 2 layers of foam back here. So pretty much this area, that all the way down into here. This area and over the hump, I'll do 2 layers glued down. And then in here, as you can see, all foamed, ready to go up here, all the way up inside. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the foam done in the back. Also, if you plan on changing your rear speakers, this is a good time to do it because they're exposed. Yeah, and there's going to be a part 2 to this video where I'm going to do the inside fenders of the rear wheels and the door panels themselves. But I'll do that later this week. This job's kind of a boner. It's kind of annoying. But yes, if you guys like this segment of the video, I'll definitely do a part 2 with the doors and wheel wells respectively. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wrapped up and put back together. Next time you see me, we'll be starting the car and taking it for a ride. All right, well, car's put back together. I have driven it. It does sound pretty damn good. I have you guys on a weird setup right here, so I don't have the external mic. Hopefully it sounds okay. I'm just waking up. I'm going to work. I'm exhausted. Real quick, I don't have the partition in yet and the windows aren't done. Just a heads up, but everything else, like you saw, is done. It's cold today. Alright, so one of my goals while doing this was road noise and driveline noise. I do talk on the phone a lot. I drive long distance on occasion, so that was kind of important to me. That has definitely mitigated that issue for me. I'm talking normal right now, and if someone was with me, normal conversation, I have a very loud exhaust, no issues at all. As an added bonus, if you follow my channel, the header tick from headers, with this, with the windows up and it's cold, I don't hear nothing. Not a damn thing. So that was a huge bonus. I didn't think it would help that much with that issue. One thing I forgot to do, like an idiot, is the little seatbelt thing over here, receptacle. I meant to put Dynamat on the inside, but I'll do that when I do the windows. Not a big deal. The car's cold. When it warms up a little bit, I'll get on it, show you how it sounds. It still sounds fine. Yeah, I'd imagine once my partition's back in, the windows are done, and the rear wheel wells is going to be super quiet, almost too quiet maybe. Just the route I've taken so far, huge improvement, and you'd probably be good just doing this. Any little squeaks and rattles I had before are pretty much gone, completely eliminated, which is awesome. Oh, and weight. So each roll weighs about 5 pounds. Doing just the interior, you can do it with exactly 4, and with the foam padding, both of those maybe a pound. So you're looking at total weight of just over 20 pounds. I do already have some weight savings between the radio, the seats, a couple other little things, so it's pretty much canceled itself out with my upgrades. I think it's very worth it if you're curious on the weight gain. PRT is the non-drone one, if you will. Here's some decent throttle for you. Sounds very clean now. Do a tunnel in a second. When I come out of it, I'll hit it a little bit. Hear from the exhaust now is just like a nice purr under low. Like, it sounds really, really clean. I can't emphasize that enough. No weird transfer noises through the body anymore. That sounds really, really good. I got traffic in front of me, of course, but I'll try to get on it a little bit. Car is so much fun. I love this damn thing. For the price, you can't beat this damn thing. So, alright guys, I hope you guys found this informative. Like always, you can find me on Corvette forums, etc. Ask me questions if you want to do this project yourself. Not too hard. And all the items can be found at Lowe's or Home Depot. About 15 bucks per roll. So, alright guys, I'm gonna trek on to work here, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.